What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on this case right here. I thought this case was kind of funny when it came across my Facebook. It came across my Facebook feed, right? And I thought it was kind of funny. This lady who you see up here on the left-hand side she is suing her pastor. The pastor is the guy with the red circle around him, right? So she confided in the pastor and told the pastor that she cheated on her husband. That's the guy in the middle. So she cheated on her husband, and the pastor went back to her husband and told that she cheated. And so now she's suing him, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play the audio from this. I think this comes from one of those court TV shows. I'm not Judge Janine or something like that. But I'm gonna play the audio of the lady, of the case. And I want your opinion. Like, should she be able to sue or what? Let me see. Which one is it?
Is it your pastor's fault that you cheated on your husband?
Because he divulged what I told him in confidence, which was that I was unfaithful to my husband.
You're here today because one of the members of your church is suing you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McDonald, start.
Yeah. Hi, Your Honor.
Suing your pastor.
Yes, I'm suing him because he divulged what I told him in confidence, which was that I was unfaithful to my husband, and he went ahead and told my husband, who promptly divorced me and kicked me out of the house.
So why is it your pastor's fault that you cheated on your husband?
I thought what I had told him was in confidence, and I was looking to him for emotional help. I couldn't afford a therapist, so I thought, I'm depressed. And
did he help you?
He said that honesty is the best way to make myself feel better. And so he said, you have a month, tell your husband. Then one day they met at the gym, and Pastor Hall just says that I was unfaithful. And then my husband comes home in a fury, and that was it.
Pastor Hall, did you specifically say, hey, by the way, Mr. McDonald, and you can stand up, Mr. McDonald. I see you're here in the pastor's support as a witness. But Pastor Hall, did you tell Mr. McDonald, hey, by the way, your wife cheated on you?
No. So she is correct in how we got together. We did meet. She did confide in me.
Okay.
I already forgave her. The Lord forgives her. But in order for her to forgive herself and to move on, she has to tell her husband.
Take those extra steps. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Then you met Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
At the gym.
Yes.
Okay. You were working out.
So this was about 6 weeks later. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it was great catching up. I hadn't seen them in church in a little bit. So we catch each other at the gym. We talk. And I briefly mentioned, it's great to see people go through so much adversity, when it comes to different things like sickness, things like bankruptcy, things like adultery, all kinds of types of, situations and periods that couples can go through.
Mm-hmm. So you just gave a general statement about obstacles that they go through. Going through obstacles makes people stronger.
Correct.
Right? But you just threw bankruptcy, addiction, adultery in there. You weren't specifically thinking of that, or you just kind of said it?
Yeah, no, I'm not alluding to anything,
Okay. It was just a general statement.
Just general
Obstacles
hardships.
such as make people stronger.
Correct.
Okay. And that's it? You guys both went on your way?
Yeah. It was just a quick kind of touch and go with us. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me pause it right there, right? So he said he brought up a lot of different things. The pastor said he brought up a lot of different things. But why even, why if you're not in a church setting, like why even go straight to like, I'm glad to see that y'all overcame some difficulties. Quite naturally, the husband is going to be like, well, he's going to wonder, like, what difficulties are you talking about? Then he's going to say, even if you give a list of examples, you're going to like financial problems, health problems, marital, like infidelity. So if you know that you don't have any health problems or any financial problems, or maybe you do, then you're going to think that, all right, he must have been talking to somebody who has my wife, who has, who knows about this stuff, infidelity. So now he knows that I mean, that's just like I don't know. I just think that he basically
And then
just
Mr.
snitched on her.
McDonald, how did you find out your wife cheated on you?
It was during that time with the pastor when I knew something might have been said that
Something triggered you?
right, exactly. It was whether or not she cheated on me.
Did you have a suspicion she cheated on you?
Yes.
When and for how long?
It was prior to the pandemic, and I.
So you always felt it in your gut that she cheated on you.
Yes.
So was it the pastor's line that made you? Do you think he was trying to tell you your wife cheated on you, or?
Yes.
So you confronted your wife. She admitted that she cheated on you, and you filed for divorce. Okay. And why $25,000?
Well, Your Honor, I'm a teacher, and a teacher's salary is not very big. And when I got kicked out, I had to find an apartment. And so that's for 6 months worth of rent.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, because I no longer have someone I can trust, like Pastor Hall here,
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to therapy, and that's not something that I can typically afford. So I'm also including 6 months of therapy.
Okay. I just don't think he disclosed anything on purpose. You're not taking accountability of what you did. You caused the breakdown to happen. I know this is very harsh. At the end of the day, you're responsible for your actions and any consequences that come thereof. Okay? Based on the evidence, I will deny your claim for $25,000.
All right. So she said that the judge said, I don't think that he disclosed anything on purpose, right? And I don't think that, I think intent, in my opinion, I think intent is irrelevant. It's like the damage that you did. That's just like if you unintentionally hurt somebody, you still got to suffer the consequences sometimes of like what because that feeds into like negligence. Now, I don't know if legally, like, I guess not illegally, like you have some type of like patient, like what you do with a doctor, you have patient doctor confidentiality. So evidently it must not be like that with pastors. Another thing about this, the pastor said he forgave her, right? Like, who is he, in my opinion, like, who is he to forgive her for cheating on her husband? He said, I forgave her. And this to me, it just sounds like what good is somebody like a pastor if they can't help you work through the situations. Now, I'm not letting this lady off the hook because she did cause the whole situation. But maybe she wanted to go to the pastor and say, look, I made a mistake. I want to save my marriage. Like, help guide me through this situation. And his thing is, all right, I forgive you. But you got to tell your husband. Okay, so all right, that's cool. She got to tell her husband, and then they can work through that. But for him to jump the gun and run over and see her husband out somewhere, I don't know, man. I just like, what good are these pastors and religious leaders if they can't really help people, guide people through these type of situations? And I thought, number one, I just thought that like when you confide in them, it was almost like you confide in a doctor. Don't religious people call themselves doctors anyway? Some, So I kind of thought the judge was off on this, and the husband even said himself. The husband said that once the pastor told him that just confirmed a belief that he had. So I thought the judge messed up on this. Although I'm not trying to let this lady off the hook because she did cheat, but that's just a lesson to people that, like, I think like some of these pastors and some of these religious leaders really not much of much use. And what about those, like when you go to confession, like those Catholic churches and stuff like that, and you go into the booth? I think that's the Catholic church. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I thought like when you go into those booths, those confessional booths, and then there's a pastor on the other side, or a reverend or a priest. I think it's a priest, and you confess your sins, and they tell you to do the Hail Marys. Yeah, that's Catholic. So they tell you to do the Hail Marys and stuff like that. Like, so any of the information that you give to those people inside of the confession, is that not a secret, or is that, they can run out? You say you snatched the purse early in the day, and then you go to confession, they can just run and turn you in or something like that. I don't know, man. But if these pastors and these priests and these reverends are like no different than nobody else, then people got to be, they have to be careful of like who they share their secrets with. You need to go to a real doctor, a professional, and stop letting these pastors benefit from you being a member of their church, and you don't get any benefit from them. And all he did was help her to, help expedite their marriage being over with. But I just thought that was a crazy case. I just thought also that, like, when you confide in a pastor, that it was, like it was some level of secrecy there and some amount of trust, but I guess not. He talking about, I just can't get over the fact that he said he forgave her. She didn't cheat on him, and I don't think it was his place to be able to forgive her. No way. I think that was her husband. But that's my take on it, man. Let me know how y'all think about what y'all think about this case. Do y'all think the pastor was wrong for telling the husband, even if it was a mistake? Intent to me really don't matter. But do y'all think the pastor was wrong? And so, yeah, man, just leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Peace.